Let's see if I can find it again. Uh, what the hell was I looking at? Pictures? It's not in that one. I need to find it. Here it is. Nope, that's not it. Pictures, okay. Let's see. Delete. Also, hey, this is the first camera I ever had. This is my first camera. It's a Sony digital Mavic camera, and that's what it looks like without the lens cap. And it was the first camera I had when I was a kid. I used to take it to the assemblies and conventions um, as a kid. You know, it was something to do at the convention to kind of make the convention fun because you had to sit there for like, I don't know, 6 hours or whatever and listen to bullshit. But it's a very funny camera and it's the only camera I've ever seen like it. I saw a post on Reddit today and I was like, I had to like comment on it because the camera was I saw the camera and I was like, oh, I had a camera like that before. But it was funny because this camera, it worked by floppy disk. So like the size of the camera is so big, I feel like because the floppy disk had to fit in, it does not connect to any device because it doesn't have a place to connect a USB plug. Uh so you could put like a floppy disk in it. Um and then you could take the floppy disk and maybe make like, I don't know, like fifteen photos per floppy disk with it, uh somewhere around there. And then you would have to change the like floppy disk out. But yeah, I used to have this camera when I was a kid, and it was a nice camera to have like as a kid. Like you couldn't record a video with it. That was the only issue I had with it, is that I never could record video because the floppy disk was like, I don't know, was it like 1.7 something megabytes on a floppy disk, or maybe it's 1.40 megabytes on a floppy disk. So uh, even if you could record, you wouldn't be able to get much footage on that. Um, but yeah, it had a flash on it too, uh, and it had a little sensor in it, so uh, it wasn't to like detect faces like it like cameras do now, like phone cameras do now, but it just had like a sensor in it to like tell you like uh when it was about to take a picture or whatever, for timing whenever you held the button down on it. Um, but yeah, it was a nice little camera to like have as a kid, and it was a Sony camera too. And I wanted to see it before I bought my camera, but I wasn't able to because I couldn't remember if it was a Sanyo or a Sony camera. Because if it was a Sony camera, I was gonna buy another Sony camera. Um, and I wasn't able to see it, so I couldn't remember the brand that it was. So I just ended up getting the Canon that I have now. But still, um, yeah. Uh, and I still feel like that the actual size of it is just and so it could fit the floppy disk because I don't know, my hands are like pretty big. I feel like, and it like fills uh my hand, um, and it felt like a monster to like carry around as a kid because it was so fucking big. And I think the battery on it didn't last very long. Like maybe the battery would be dead uh by the end of the day, but like I could only use it for like an hour, I think. So the battery probably maybe lasts like an hour, 2 hours, or whatever. But yeah, that's what I used to take photos with.